day the children from your school and your classes. Thank you so much, Deepika. And if you can just join us for our next session, which is Mandy sir from Patiala. He's our favorite, he's always been part of inspiring Indian women, boosting, enthusing us with a lot of happiness and spirit to keep going. So, Deepika, if you can please continue, be here, part of this show. I hand over now to our host for Mandy sir's session, Shivani. Shivani Srivastav Vadava. Shivani, yes. Shivani, continue now.
Hello. Hello, Rashmi. How are you? Hi. Can you hear me?
I will make Mandy sir the co-host. Yeah.
Yes. Is Mandy sir there? I can see him.
Yeah, I can see him. He's Sarika, the co-host there.
Hello, Sarika.
Hi, Shivani. How are you?
Very well.
It's always nice to listen to you and the way you speak. I'm looking forward to listen to Mandy Sarji also. I never miss these sessions.
Listen, thank you for supporting with
Welcome,
such
Mandy
cute
sir.
dimples of yours. Thank you, Rashmi. Namaskar, hello, and good evening. Big welcome to all on yet another motivating session at Inspiring Indian Women platform. I'm Shivani, your host for today, and I'm thoroughly excited for today's session and to welcome today's guest. Our guest today is no stranger to this platform. He has graced this platform many a times before, sharing his wisdom and knowledge with all of us.
I just pressed recording.
That's fine. Yeah, so as I was saying, he's no stranger to this platform. He has graced this platform many a times before sharing his wisdom and knowledge with all of us. And he has also helped many of our members find peace and solace in their day-to-day lives. So it's so exciting and so nice to have him with us all the time that he does the sessions, bringing back with him some more exciting discussions today on good health and happiness for prosperity and positivity. Please welcome Dr. Mandeep Singh, very popularly known as Mandy sir, all over the world, may I add. Today he'll be talking about happiness and prosperity with all of us. Mandy sir, welcome.
Thank you so much, Shivani. It's always so pleasure for me interacting with you all, especially you as my host has been for last so many sessions. And it's always like my talks, they are the kind which are never ending, you can say. So I have to be very, very cautious about the time limits. So kindly do tell me what's the time limit for me in this session, so that I would try to include only as much as it can be incorporated in this slot.
Certainly. It's, like Rashmi says, we have no time limit, but normally we run the session for about an hour. So just to keep everyone excited, and then we can always follow up with another session and continue the same talks. Just so we have everyone's attention at the fullest.
You don't have anything else lined up after this?
No, not really, but I think it's 11:30 from where you are speaking.
Yes. It's 11:30. Exactly.
Okay. So the session will be followed by your good night.
Okay, my good night. Maybe good morning by that time. Brahma Muhurat ho jayega, as we call it, after 12 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So I'm sharing my screen, and on this note that the very two terms, happiness and prosperity as such, as you can see on the screen, I suppose, because I will not be able to see you now as such. So do interrupt me anytime you feel like. The preamble of happiness and prosperity, when I was sharing that with my class fellows, with my school time class fellows, that I'm going to talk on this subject and case. So the first question which was asked was that which of the two is, I think I will go in for another mode, which is called read mode, so that I can switch in between and have a look at you also, right? So that's better for me, I suppose. The preamble is that prosperity is a feeling of abundance. It is a feeling of abundance. You can have.
Mandy sir, have you started screen sharing Beg your pardon?
Okay, let me do that, please.
Because we can't see any
Because you
screen.
cannot see, I was suspecting that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, just a minute. You are absolutely right. That's what I was not able to see you. That's what's slightly concerning me also.
Mhm.
Right. I think it's okay now.
Yeah.
So you can see the
Perfect.
screen now.
Yes, very well.
I can see you as well. I was not seeing you. That's anyway. So we go back to this point that these two terms, happiness and prosperity, not only are the terms elusive as such, that these two things are also very difficult to catch as such. Because if I say prosperity, in my terminology, in my belief, and in my ideology, prosperity is a feeling of abundance. So this is what I was saying, that you may have millions, you may have billions, or you may have trillions, and still you may not feel that you have enough, you have abundance, you may not feel, and you may not be having anything at all, and still you may have that feeling of abundance. It's a feeling. This is the first thing I want to tell you before I go ahead. And similarly, happiness is also a state of mind. It is not dependent, I repeat, it is not dependent on any person, thing, or situation. व्यक्ति वस्तु या परिस्थिति पे. It's not dependent. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy. This is for sure. I've been singing this nursery rhyme right from, I don't remember how many years. Time to be happy is now. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy. Place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy and make a little heaven right here. Right? So it's just the way we behave, the way we think, the kind of attitude we have for sharing, caring with others. That is what is going to actually make us and everyone happy. So we will have lot many questions, lot many things will be asked, and normally this is either one is to many kind of direct contact, eye contact session, or it can be one to one. So since it's not possible to have contact with all, so I'll be targeting these two lovely ladies, Rashmi and Shivani. I can see them on their videos with the beautiful smiles. So I will ask you the questions, and please, of course, Sarika also is here. Hi. So one
Hello.
by one, hi, and one by one, or see, I'm very honest. I have not leaked any questions to Shivani. She's totally unaware of what I'm going to ask her, so that the responses are as spontaneous and as genuine as they can be. So this is the first question, and this is the first question that we are all making tremendous effort right from the beginning. I don't know what time, Shivani, you get up in the morning?
Oh, don't ask. I'm a mom of 1.5-year-old. Morning starts at 5, but then it continues all the way till 12. Because then you wake up, you sleep, you wake up, you sleep.
Right. So you have 1.5-year-old kid, and then you are an excellent host. You are working for designing flyers and doing your job. I don't know what all those things, you are multitasking all the times, putting in so much of effort, almost 24/7. And as mothers, they have hardly any time for themselves left, working on so many issues simultaneously. So you can see that most of the times we are making efforts, and these efforts are either to the four categories, either to fulfill your aspirations, aap chahte kya ho, or to resolve some of your concerns. Concern can be for your baby bhukha to nahi hai, I need to feed him, need to clean him, need to give proper sleep, and so on. That can be your concern. It can be concern for your health, your family's health. I don't know whether you're cooking and whatsoever kind of task you are doing every time, which normally are expected to be of being an Indian lady. You know, you cannot get away from kitchen also for some reason or the other. and you may be putting in some efforts like most of the people do to clear their confusions. They have so many confusions in life, they want to work on that, and sometimes the effort can be simply to put, get seek some answers to the questions. इसमें जिज्ञासा कहते हैं. So can you think of anything other than that? It's a question for you. आप सुबह से लेके शाम तक whatsoever kind of effort you do, you can take any one example and try to fit in either these four categories or to something else. Just take one example. कोई भी.
Sometimes to fulfill your duty as well, like that you have to go to work.
You have to go for work. That's your duty. Why do you have to go for work? Because you want to earn some money out of that and you want to progress. So that becomes your aspiration.
Or make a living.
Your professional aspiration, or make a little what? Please continue.
As in make a living, not necessarily
make
that
a
you
living.
Want to go to work. Yeah.
Yes, make a living. That again is your aspiration to make a living. Or if you will not do that, then what will happen? You will have some concerns. Like if I don't have money, then I will have some concerns. So I have to take care of those concerns also. So by and large, I'm not saying that all 100% of your effort is in these four categories. There can be something which you might be doing, but mostly I think you agree that this is what we do. Put in a lot of efforts, lots of efforts, at least 10 hours, 12 hours. Not only if you put in effort means every time you get up from the bed, you start making some effort or the other. So not making the things long anymore. If you make list of all the efforts which you're making, what you ultimately come to the conclusion is that all your present effort in terms of thinking, in terms of doing something, is normally you have some expectation from that effort to become something. It can be becoming a good mother also. It can be becoming a good professional, a good designer, a good social servant, a good wife, anything you are making. So you have some expectations to become something. So this is the first thing I think you all agree with, at least those who are, I can see, right? So that becoming again leads to you want to become something, to either get something or to do something. I think there is no debate on this point also till this point, that you become something because you want to get something material, tangible, intangible, or to do something. This is just a simple example that if you are doing studying to be an engineer and software engineer and so on and so forth. So one thing which you want to get after becoming a software engineer is perhaps to get some money, or to do some research, or to go in for earn some name or fame or innovation and so on and so forth. So this is one simple example. I have made a chart. I think there should not be any disagreement on this so far. If at all you have, I would like to know, and we will discuss on that. Or it's okay till now. Yeah. So we are making an effort for the fulfilling life, and once we expect to get something and do something, there is the final thing, that is we expect to be something. Now what do we mean by to be something? This be something is what you will immediately relate with the title or the topic of this evening, my evening or my almost midnight. And that be something is we want to be happy and prosperous, and that also on a continued basis. Am I right? Or is it something other than that? It's either happiness, you can call it happiness, even peace of mind is part of being happy. If you are unhappy, you cannot have peace of mind. If you feel deprived, you cannot have peace of mind, right? So even if you say I have higher goals, self-realization, this and that, can you go in for those higher goals with an unhappy state of mind, or feeling deprived? I think answer is absolutely very much obvious. It's a big no as such. So as such, you see, we are making a present effort to expect to become something, to expect to get something or do something. As you can see, present effort can be making some research or painting or practicing and something, to become something like doctor or farmer or businessman, and to get something or do something, get something in terms of money or fame or name, and do something like innovation or research or for the society, something. Ultimately, it leads to the fourth point, that is, we expect to be something. And I hope I'm very clear, I'm not missing any words. We all want to be happy and prosperous, right? So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is your basic aspiration? Just pause, think, and reply. It's an online viva for Shivani once again. And no questions leaked, very honest, genuine. Which is your aspiration? Effort,
Number
making
4.
an effort. Number 4. Number 4. So now it's very clear that number 1, number 2, number 3 are the steps, which we take to fulfill our basic aspiration. That is at number 4. That is, we want to be happy and prosperous. There is no doubt about it. Now, whatsoever present effort we are making, there can be number of ways in which we make the efforts. Number of possibilities are there, number of risk factors are there, number of pitfalls are there, number of points where we can be successful, number of points where we can be a failure. We may fail in making a proper kind of effort to become something. We may or may not become what we expect to become in making the present effort. And even after becoming, we may not get whatsoever we had expected after becoming something. And even after getting, this is the most important point, even after getting whatsoever we had been working for, we may not actually be happy. We may not actually feel prosperous.
Yeah.
So this is something, it's very important that at some stage of life, the earlier the better. But as I normally say, it's never late to start, and it's never too early also to start. So whatsoever age you are, whatsoever state you are in, and if you have already not ever thought of these things, just be open and adopt it right now. This is the right moment to think over it, that ultimately my aim in life is to be happy and prosperous on continued basis. And what if I am making an effort in the direction to be happy only by becoming something, or to get something, or to do something after I become, where you have so many uncertainties, where you may or may not, am I putting in the right kind of effort, where I go to this goal number 4 right now? Time to be happy is now.
Now.
Now, not when I will become an engineer, when I will get a plum IT job, when I will make my first 1 million, when I will get blah 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 blah, married or whatsoever, right? So never put on so many conditions to your happiness. Never keep on pushing off your happiness to a point when it will be, because there are so many question marks over it. So I think you all know, if you have taken any steps for being unhappy or deprived. I think the answer is no. We all make effort only to be happy and to be feeling prosperous instead of feeling deprived.
Content.
Right. So the next question is, as you can see, for the fulfillment of your basic aspirations, is it essential to choose steps that lead to basic aspiration?
No, I don't think so.
So I am choosing the basic steps with clarity. I have clear cut image in my mind what is going to lead to make me happy and prosperous. That clarity is with me. I strongly agree. I agree. At this moment of time, I neither agree nor disagree. I'm slightly confused about it, or I disagree. मेरे को तो कुछ clear है नहीं है. I don't agree with my clarity or strongly disagree. So which state you are in right now, Shivani, for example?
So when you say the basic steps with clarity, are we talking about the steps that leads to happy and prosperous?
Yes.
Right. Um, I number two, agree that I choose it with clarity now after having a lot of thought on it.
And before having the thought on, before we
Oh.
started on the session,
I'll tell you, I've been talking about this happiness for quite some time now. Can everyone hear me?
yes, yes, please.
Okay, because the video is all paused. No one's moving. Anyway, so thinking about happiness a lot of times. What is happiness? How do you become happy? With so much is happening in your life that that feeling just disappears without you even realizing it has disappeared from your life. Sometimes you feel that. So personally, I think that all these one, two, three is a are things that you do in life to get the life moving. And simultaneously, you need to have the feeling of happiness throughout within you, regardless of the outcome of one, two, three.
Hmm. So
That's
whatsoever you do, are you absolutely clear about whatsoever your effort you're making is going to make you happy and prosperous, or sometimes you have doubts, sometimes you feel पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है
oh
जिंदगी में.
no, absolutely not. Most of the time, it's a doubt. God knows what's happening. God knows
God
where
know
it's
what's
leading
happening.
you.
Right. Okay. So it's like this. It's like this. That our basic aspiration. Now we are very clear what is aspiration and what are the steps. That most of the times what actually we are doing in our life is that the direction of our efforts, it keeps on changing. Uh, you may not know if you have arrived or not. And number three, very likely there is a mix of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. That is, it's happiness sometimes, it's unhappiness sometimes. You may call it as kabhi khushi, kabhi gum kind of status we have in our mind. So as you can see, that all these things are getting scribbled. If you can see the pointer over here, these are actually because we keep on moving in the point that sometimes we make an effort and we start expecting to become something, and then we start expecting to get something out of that, and then we put in more effort, and then my aim changes, and what I have to become that changes, what I have to do that changes, what I have to get out of that also changes, and sometimes again my present effort again changes. And do you agree with this or not?
Yeah,
Right.
great.
So this is quite normal. Let's move ahead with that. So the current state is, as you can see, that we are in this current state of kabhi khushi kabhi gum. But now it's clear to me that I have to take some steps. I have to take some steps. I think the voice is echoing anyway. Where I am able to achieve my basic aspiration, and that aspiration is of continued happiness and continued, feeling of abundance. This
Guys,
is,
so
yes. Any questions on that till point?
sorry, my screen is all stuck. I'm just trying to fix it. Please continue. Sorry, my apologies.
Okay. Never mind. So, so whatsoever we are thinking, whatsoever we are doing, we're doing something, we're expecting to become something, or we're expecting to get something, it's all that should lead to happiness or prosperity. I think up to this point, there is no doubt about it. Now, we have chosen a path which seems to be our favorite path. For some reason, that favorite path is closed, which we had thought of. ये करेंगे, ये बनेंगे, ये मिलेगा तो खुश होंगे. So that chain is there, and that somewhere over there we have a blockage. So what should we do at that moment of time? I think things are very, very simple. As such, it looks like, should we continue to be unhappy about what it is, or should we try to find an alternative path? I think you will all agree. Shivani, if you can answer me, it's A or B. It's alternate path. So on the screen, it looks like an alternate path. On screen right now, as I'm taking the Viva, you are answering, applying your mind. But do you practically go in for an alternative path and don't cry over the spilt milk?
Oh, no, not at all. It's lots of crying first.
Lots of crying, right? Lots of crying. So that's what I want to say, that whatsoever we say, looking at the screen, that this should be the right answer, you do respond in that right answer manner right now. But practically, when you are living your life, and then sometimes you become unmindful of all these questions or all these things, and then that's the reason we are unhappy. We continue to be unhappy because we don't explore the alternative paths. जब दिल ही टूट गया तो जी के क्या करेंगे? अरे, explore an alternative path, right?
Yeah.
So don't get stuck to that. So this is one thing. I think we need not take any break at this point. It's too early for a break. But otherwise, I think this is the first part of the session. As such, we have given some brief introduction about happiness and its concept. Now, as I move on to the next session without any break, where we have seen that something called our basic aspiration, and then there are some steps to it, right? Now, we will explore on two questions. Are happiness and prosperity our basic aspirations? The answer to this is
Yes.
obviously yes. Obviously yes. The second question is, what is needed to fulfill these aspirations? This is a big question mark. What is needed to fulfill these basic aspirations of being happy and feeling prosperous on continued basis? This is what we are going to explore in the remaining time. Now, this is what the proposal is. Proposal is in the form that you may accept it or you may reject it. It's not something which is being imposed upon, or it's not something which I'm saying is the truth. You have to verify it on your own right, on the basis of your natural acceptance, whether these things are naturally acceptable to you or not. This is what we are going to do, and it is a process of dialogue. That's what I wanted to start a dialogue between any two people, myself and Shivani, or anyone. It starts with a dialogue, but ultimately, once you start thinking of in these terms, once you start reflecting on these terms, this dialogue which you're having between you and me, it will soon become a dialogue within your own self, between what you are and what you really want to be. What you are, what's your current state, and what you really want to be, that is your natural acceptance. So this session which you're having is to initiate this kind of internal dialogue, so that even when the session is over and you are on to your routine, for the time we meet next, I don't know, whenever Rashmi will give me next slot in part 2, part 3 of this session, and that time you continue to have this kind of dialogue within yourself.
Very, very exciting. I can't wait to hear what you have to say on how to choose to be happy all the time. You know, we all know what happiness is. It's a feeling inside and this and that. But what steps can you take to ensure that you're happy all the time? It's still a mystery to me, to be honest.
Yes, it's mystery to all of us,
All of us.
including me.
Yes, we know it's a feeling, but how do we get that feeling all the time?
Right. Right.
Good. I would be very happy to pick up some questions, but for now, I don't see anything. Actually, my screen is stuck. Rashmi, can you see any questions that I can't pick up?
Okay, I can read out something on the chat. I can see happiness is not the destination; it's a way of life.
Right.
A very
Yeah.
nice approach. And Sarika says, at times you may think it's the best thing and the right thing. At times you may think it's the best thing and the right thing. And that's a comment coming from Sarika. These are the two things I can see on my chat box as such.
Very well. Is there anyone else who has any questions on what we have done so far? Looks like no. Well, my video is stuck, so I can't see anyone. I may have to ask Mandy sir, do you see anyone moving?
Okay. So just you can see my screen at least, I suppose.
No, yes, on my phone now. I can.
You can read what's there on the screen now.
Yes, I think right now it is the topic is aspiration. Do we want to be happy?
Okay, right.
Simple.
So we will go step by step again, because my approach as a teacher is to start everything from scratch so that even the person with minimum background is also able to pick up something. So now we know that we want to be happy, strongly agree. We want to be prosperous, strongly agree.
Yeah.
We want to be happy and prosperous every moment. We want to be, it's a want. And again, strongly agree. I don't think there has to be any disagreement on all these things. There has to be A, and A, in my opinion, as such.
Exactly.
Until or unless you are a tragedy king and you want to, you like Mukesh Kumar songs and so on and so forth. Otherwise, A, and A is the normal, natural choice for most of us.
Absolutely.
Coming to the next point, that what is the current state? Are we happy? Are we prosperous? Is there continuity in our happiness and prosperity? This is what we have to explore.
Yeah.
And the answer to all these three can be no, or sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mostly sometimes yes, sometimes no. Right?
Yeah.
So the big question is, then why this gap?
Hmm.
Right? Between our aspiration and our state of being, between what we really want and between what we actually are. Right? Why this gap? This is a big question mark. And second is, what are we doing to fill this gap? Is this gap getting filled up day by day, or is it getting wider? So any response on that, Shivani?
No, I think the answer is different for everyone depending on how much you're working on yourself. But it's getting wider, is what I need to say right now.
Whereas it should have.
It should be bridging.
Right. So I am, I am always in some way or the other telling that I am 55 years old, right? And all ladies will ever be 16 years old. There is no doubt about it. But even at this 16 years age, कुछ तो लगता होगा कि अभी तक ये सब क्यों नहीं हुआ? Like today I'm getting all these questions. Today at least I am clear about my confusions. I don't know whether this is grammatically correct or not. I am clear about my confusions. शायद मेरे को कल तक तो पता भी नहीं था कि there is a confusion. Now I at least am aware of that there is a confusion. There is a gap which needs to be filled. There is a gap which perhaps is getting wider and wider in spite of the fact that I'm making so much on effort. इतने सालों से, for so many years, I've been putting in so much of my effort in everything, in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of getting this feeling of abundance, being prosperous. ये कुछ बढ़ता ही चला जा रहा है, ये हाथ में आ नहीं रही है चीज, something of that sort. So let's see what to do in this case. So for that we have to make an effort. We have to make an effort. Again, if you are studying, or if you are in a profession, you're working very hard, then whatsoever you are making an effort, be honest, A or B. If you can see on the screen, be honest, A or B. Is your effort for continuity of happiness and prosperity, or is your effort only for earning money, ensuring physical facility and its accumulation? Or it is a
Interesting.
mix of two?
Yeah. Right now, it's a mix of two. Um, yeah, right now, the good thing is that right now it's a mix of two. That means A has been added. B was always there, but with time, as you grow older, you become a little wiser, I hope. The A gets added to it because then you realize, my God, A has disappeared in effort of doing B.
Hmm.
Uh,
So
so
when you were doing your professional course, it was in some hotel management, you told
yes,
me,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So at that point of time, and before that, when you were in school, when you were doing graduation, when you were doing some specialization course or management, all those times, all those years, all that effort which you have made was for A or for B?
So that time it was
Someone
for
told you
B.
about these things in school time or college time or in professional course?
So the point is, no one ever taught you that A is more important than B. It was always about B. It was always about earning money, getting a status, getting a title, growing up in life, growing up the career ladder. It was always about that. And then
Yes.
doing that, you realize what happened to the happiness bit. Because all of that has happened and I don't feel happy. You
Hmm.
know, the way I should be. I don't giggle the way I used to when I was in school or when I was with my parents.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think as you realize, then A gets added and A becomes priority.
Hmm. But all through our education system, all through whatsoever effort which we have been told, okay beta ye kar lo, beta wo kar lo, IITs mein chale jao, IIM mein chale jao, I'm talking of the Indian scene, and then ultimately you land up in a job in a bank, and then you're earning, okay, what's the outcome? That you'll be earning uh, 5 lakh rupees per month, and so on and so forth. And in these corona times, all my cousins are earning, along with their spouses, more than 10 lakhs per month in Indian rupees. Is a big money. वो सब
Huge
यही
one.
कह रहे हैं कि अगर बर्तन ही मांजने हैं हमने, दे वर एक्चुअली डूइंग इट, और हमने सफाई करनी है और हमने वही सब कुछ करना है, तो ये 10 लाख का करेंगे क्या,
क्या फायदा?
राइट? सो दैट रियलाइजेशन हैज dawned upon कि ये हम कर भी क्या रहे थे. इवन विद दैट मनी, इवन we were free to move around, we were trying to chase this happiness, were we getting this happiness? Perhaps
No,
answer is no,
no.
right? And this is the most unfortunate part, I will not say of our education system, of the society as a whole, that right from the little kid, you have only one and a half year old kid, right? Then by the time he's, I don't know what schooling system is, by the times in India, they start at 3 years old, the child starts going to for a preschooling and then goes to the nursery,
Same here.
LKG, and so on and so forth. तो तब से बेटा पढ़ ले, बेटा पढ़ ले, बेटा पढ़ ले, बेटा पढ़ ले, पढ़ोगे, लिखोगे, बनोगे नवाब, and so on and so forth, right? Even the things which we use for, I will just ask you, early to bed, early to rise makes,
So, man.
what is that?
Early to bed, early to rise makes a man happy and wise.
No, it's healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Happy नहीं है,
Yeah,
इसमें
healthy, wealthy,
happy
and wise.
नहीं है. This is what I want to tell you, right?
Yeah,
This is what I was told, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
wise.
But happy
Correct.
तो है ही नहीं है इसमें कहीं पे,
Healthy. Happy की
right?
तो कोई बात ही नहीं करता. No one
कोई
talks
बात ही
about.
नहीं करता है ना happiness की तो,
Correct.
right? This is one of the things. And in Punjab, especially in Punjab, we have a very common name, happy, oye, happy. My cousin's name is Happy, and
Yeah.
that movie Happy, so many movies of Punjabi background, even Hindi ones, right? Akshay Kumar ki वो Happy.
Yeah.
नाम ही है Happy, लेकिन happiness है कहाँ पे,
Right.
right? So this is what we are going to see today. To the extent time permits, to the extent you permit me,
Of course, of course.
right? So we have assumed, and that assumption is, you will tell me correct or not, that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when we have enough physical facility.
Hmm.
Physical facility in terms of अपनी गाड़ी होगी, अपना बंगला होगा, राइट? बंगला में स्विमिंग पूल होगा या उसकी छत पे स्विमिंग पूल होगा, राइट? और you will have money for the cruise, or you will have all latest gadgets, or you will have all those branded things. हमारे यहाँ पंजाब में तो बहुत क्रेज है सब चीजों का, जो भी लेटेस्ट मोबाइल का फोन है वो चाहिए, राइट? यू जस्ट मैड आफ्टर ऑल दोस थिंग्स. वो क्या जगुआर और वो बड़ी बड़ी कारें और ऑडी से शुरू होके एंड ऑल दैट, you will find it on the roads of Patiala, right? पागलों की तरह. And मेरे पास नहीं है और मैं बैठा तो मेरे को कोई ज्यादा किक नहीं मिली उसमें, वेरी फ्रैंकली. मेरे को कोई ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पता चला कि हाँ मैं ऑडी में बैठा हूँ या जगुआर में बैठा हूँ या और टंग ट्विस्टिंग नेम्स हैं बड़े बड़े उनके बीच में. माय फ्रेंड्स हैव इट, आई डोंट हैव इट. बट उनको ये लगता है, परहैप्स उनको लगता है भी नहीं, लगता था that once we will get this big car then I will be happy, right? But उनके चेहरे उतने ही लटके हुए हैं, मेरे से ज्यादा लटके हुए हैं, right? तो कहीं ना कहीं पे ये गड़बड़ है ना, हमें ये देखना है. Our assumption was wrong, so we were chasing in the wrong direction as such, right? We thought that the physical facility itself is sufficient to give me the kind of happiness and the feeling of prosperity, राइट? वो कहीं ना कहीं पे इसमें कोई स्लिप, कोई लोचा है, जिसे बोलते हैं ना, कुछ लोचा है, समथिंग रॉन्ग इज देयर, कोई झोल है. आई एम यूजिंग Bombaya language. I know Rashmi is in Bombay for long. She must have picked up these things, right? So what is that wrong assumption where we have slipped? Now again, a very simple example. A cow wants to be comfortable, right? Give her shelter, give her good amount of soft grass to eat, a place where she can sit and chew the cud, and the cow will get comfortable. You don't give all these facilities, cow will be unhappy. You give these physical facilities, cow will be happy. Finish. There is no doubt about it. Nothing more is required by a cow, right? But what about us? What about us? Just let's have a little bit of introspection on how many pairs of clothes we have. Shivani.
Don't ask me to answer that.
Don't ask
me. If my husband hears it, that's it.
हाँ, ठीक है ना? So
it's unlimited.
If there is shortage of clothes, it's a problem. I don't deny that. If there is a shortage of clothes, it is a problem, and there are many people in the world who don't have sufficient number of clothes.
Yeah.
Right. But we have that number of clothes.
Yeah.
And I bet we don't even know how many. Right.
Yeah.
I did my wardrobe audit just few months back. तो अभी गर्मियां आई ना अभी, तो I segregated. मैं सिर्फ कुर्ता की बात करता हूँ, because I don't wear anything other than कुर्ता. No jackets, no sweaters, no coats for me, जो मैं पहले बहुत कुछ शोशे करता था. अब पुरानी फोटोग्राफ कभी मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा, आज से 16 साल 15 साल पहले, with cravats and scarves and cufflinks and this and that, right? Proper gentleman kind of appearance. वो सब छोड़ दिए मैंने. Only कुर्तास. सर्दी वाले कुर्ते अलग बनाए मैंने, गर्मी वाले में फिर दोबारा दो रखे, फॉर्मल एंड इनफॉर्मल, राइट? एंड जब मैंने काउंट किए, सर्दी वाले तो मैंने अंदर रख दिए, वो हमारे बेड बॉक्स होता है एक, ठीक है? तो उसमें कितने हैं मेरे को अभी भी नहीं मालूम. और गर्मी वाले में 17 + 18 और बेड बॉक्स में अगर आप मैचिंग नंबर भी ले लो, 17 भी ले लो, तो इट ऑल कम्स टू 50+ on my kurtas, जबकि पिछले साल मैंने कोई कुर्ता नहीं खरीदा और आने वाले 5 सालों में मैं कोई कुर्ता नहीं खरीदने वाला. Because now I am aware that I have 50 kurtas.
Too many of them, yeah.
Too many of them. And friend came to me, ओ विशाल मार्ट में चलते हैं, वहां पे आपके जैसे कुर्ते बहुत मिले हैं. मैंने उसको अपनी वॉर्ड खोल के दिखाई, वॉर्डरोब. मैंने कहा, यू काउंट, राइट? And if I'm not aware of that, and the moment person says, वो one एक के साथ एक फ्री मिल रहा है, दो के साथ एक फ्री मिल रहे हैं, 30% डिस्काउंट, सेल चल रही है, ऑफ सीजन डिस्काउंट, you simply go and वहां पे जाएंगे, कोई ना कोई शेड तो you will get it which you don't have, right? Or some texture or something, or some size, long वाला है, short वाला है, cuffs वाला है, बिना cuffs के है, neck, and so on and so forth, and you just purchase it, thinking that you need it, while you actually don't need it, right?
Yeah.
I think you agree upon this.
Absolutely.
Right.
You don't need it.
Now, agreeing upon the fact that when we do not have the physical facility, we become uncomfortable and unhappy.
Yeah.
Abhi light chali jaye and my AC stops working in the kind of heat we have in India at this season of time, right? I will become uncomfortable without air conditioner, even if my fan is running on inverter. Agreed. But when this electricity is restored and this physical facility is restored, do I feel happy for a continued period of time, or only for first 5 or 10 minutes? What a relief, the AC is working again and the temperature has come back to the point of 25 degree where I'm feeling comfortable. And what after 20 minutes?
You forget.
Again,
Then there's another issue.
So many issues, right? And we start thinking of hundreds of other things,
Yeah.
forgetting about the physical facility which we have.
Yeah.
So it means what? That lack of physical facility for sure is make me uncomfortable. But the moment I regain that physical facility or I acquire a new facility, is it going to ensure my happiness?
No.
So this is what we are exploring. Then
Yeah.
what it is that is going to give me happiness? A small story. Two kids, childhood friends, school time friends, they meet after a gap of 20 years. And one friend says to other, hey, come over to my place and let's have something together. Usko apne ghar le jata hai, and he serves him so many things, different snacks and different drinks and different kind of all those delicious things you can see on the screen. And both are very happy to meet after so many time, and दोनों एक दूसरे से बहुत पुरानी बातें करते हैं, and childhood things. And he tells the other guy, okay, take more, सब कुछ करता है. And when it's time to separate once again, जिसके घर वो आया होता है ना, वो दूसरे बंदे को कहता है, okay, now you see, I have so much of money, I have so much of things around, नौकर चाकर सब कुछ है, and whenever you feel like coming to my place, you are always welcome. यहाँ तक तो सारी बात ठीक है, all right. And then he adds, whenever you feel like having good food and all those delicacies, do drop in. Otherwise also you cannot afford all these things now. Now this last part of the sentence, do you think if it happens to you, you will relish this last part? Your friend telling you this last part, and will you ever again go to that bugger's place?
No.
So what is it? What is it? If it is physical facilities, if it is a good bungalow, all those nice food, nice drinks, places, place, the ambience and the service by the servants and everything that goes down the drain by that last part of the sentence.
Yeah.
Right? So you feel annoyed. Yes or no? So, so all this I've been trying to build a narrative to come to a point that these physical facilities are necessary but not sufficient to come to your point where you should feel happy.
Yeah.
So physical facility is a necessary, right? Necessary for the human beings, but something more is required. अभी अभी तो आपको एग्जांपल दे दिया ना, so can you guess what is that something more?
Behavior, human touch.
Human touch, behavior.
Good people
Well,
around you.
you're right on the spot, on the you can say
Good.
bullseye. Yes, but try to put in some more words to it.
Like good people around you trying to make you feel special.
Good people around you trying to make you feel special. Exactly. Right. So whenever you feel dukhi in your life, right, is it because of lack of physical facility or more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship? It's a personal question for you.
Second one.
Second.
Always.
Always. Because भगवान की कृपा से इतना तो नहीं है कि फिजिकल फैसिलिटी की वजह से हम कभी दुखी हुए हो, कि हमें खाना ना मिला हुआ हो, या हमें सर पे छत ना हुई हो हमारे, राइट, या वाईफाई अचानक से बंद हो गया हो और वो आया ही ना हो, बिकॉज दिस इज आल्सो बिकम रोटी कपड़ा और मकान एंड देन वी नीड वाईफाई आल्सो अलोंग विद इट, राइट. तो दैट ऑफ कोर्स इज गोइंग टू मेक अस दुखी. बट हम जितनी बार भी दुखी हुए हैं, मोस्टली, आई हैव नॉट से एवरी टाइम, it is due to lack of fulfillment in relationship. आपने जो भी बातें बोली पहले, just repeat. You said having good people around you who make you feel special. और क्या बोला था आपने?
Good behavior.
Good behavior, right? So everything comes in what? Relationship.
Yeah.
This magic word relationship or fulfillment in relationship, इसमें ये सारी चीजें कवर हो जाती. I told you, you are hitting bullseye. Wonderful, right? That's what we are going to focus on.
Yeah.
Now, the question comes that how much time and how much effort are we investing for physical facility and for fulfillment in relationship? इतने सालों से हमने जो अपने आप को इतना घिसाया एवरी फॉर्म, राइट, पढ़ाई की, इंटर्नशिप की, यहाँ जॉब की, वहां जॉब की, ये ट्राई किया, वो प्रोजेक्ट किया, वो स्टार्टअप किया, आपने भी किया होगा, मैंने भी किया, सबने किया, आई मीन इट्स राइट. इतनी जो हमने एफर्ट लगाई, was it for getting physical facility or was it for fulfillment in relationship? ज्यादा किसमें किया और किस रेशियो में किया? You can tell about yourself. Was it 90% physical facility and 10% relationship, or other way around, or a proper balance of 50-50 as you may call it?
Definitely 90 and 10. 90 for physical.
Okay.
Because तब तो पता ही नहीं था ना.
पता ही नहीं था ना, पता ही नहीं था कि खुशी छुपी कहाँ है, राइट. हम तो यही समझते ना कि फिजिकल फैसिलिटी और हो जाए, more rupees or dollars or pounds or whatsoever currency or more assets and more physical facilities as such we have, and we will get. उसी में हम अपनी सारी, अभी तो you are in a very younger stage, good amount of opportunities left to change your direction, right? But कुछ तो बिल्कुल fag end of life में जाके रिफ्लेक्ट अपॉन करेंगे, ओ तो मैं रिटायर भी हो गया, तो मेरा पता नहीं क्या थोड़े से ही दिन रह गए लगता है, और सारा जिंदगी मैं क्या करता रहा, going in for material gains which I thought were necessary and sufficient. नेसेसरी वाली बात तो ठीक है, अब तो नेसेसरी इट्स ओके, बट जो सफिशिएंट वाला है ना, तो सफिशिएंट तो कभी भी सफिशिएंट नहीं होगा उसका. इफ यू आर मिसिंग ऑन द पॉइंट 2 of fulfillment in relationship, then point A alone will never ever suffice. अगर होता तो वो जो recent divorce हुआ है मिलिंदा का और बिल गेट्स का, I think you might be knowing better.
Yeah.
वो होता क्या?
नहीं होता.
ठीक है ना, फिजिकल फैसिलिटी तो बिल गेट्स से ज्यादा कोई भी हस्बैंड नहीं प्रोवाइड कर पाएगा ना किसी भी वाइफ को. ठीक है ना. सो इट्स अ वर्ड ऑफ क्वेश्चन फॉर ऑल द हस्बैंड्स एंड इवन फॉर द वाइफ्स,
Yeah.
राइट? कि if your husband thinks that providing the physical facility is sufficient, then he is wrong, right? आप आराम से कह सकते हैं विदाउट कोटिंग मैंडी सर, आप बिल गेट्स की एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं, राइट?
Yeah.
Right. Now, we agree that the unhappiness is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship. But unfortunately, we have been spending more time and effort for getting physical facility. Do you agree with this or not?
Absolutely.
Let's start. The unhappiness is more due to lack of unfulfillment or lack of fulfillment in the relationship. But
Yeah.
most of the time is spent in physical facility.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, which is your choice?
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree, right? Now, ये तो हमने अभी बिल्कुल अच्छे से establish कर दिया, right? That the fundamental difference between being a human and not being an animal is that physical facility is necessary for the animals. It is necessary for the human beings, but while it is adequate for the animals, it is not adequate for human beings. No doubts about it so far.
Absolutely.
Here we are. So in addition to the physical facilities, a relationship is necessary. Sambandh with other human beings. Physical facility is what we get from nature. You know, we need good furniture, we get it from nature. Wood, material, silicon, etc., electricity, etc., building material, we all get it from nature. The stones and the cements and the iron from which the steel is made, from which the cars are made, we all getting it from nature. Are you getting me or not? Right? So this is what we have now. One part is physical facility, one part is relationship. And we also see that we get into arguments in spite of the fact that we have recognized the need for the relationship. We do get into arguments, we do get into oppositions and fights. We do it in the family, with the close friends, with the colleagues at the work, in the marketplace. Every time we fight, every time we have a resolve that, okay, next time I'm not going to do it, but it again happens. Why? Why it's happening again and again? We want others to improve, and the others want us to improve. I think this is one thing which should go deep into our consciousness. Honestly speaking, I think you also agree with it, that whenever there is a fight, whenever there is something strained in the relationship, we often expect the other person to improve, right? Oh, nice to see you back, right? And the others, they want us to improve. Hota hai ki nahi hota hamesha?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So see, there is something called counseling and something called coaching and something called mentoring and something called consulting. I do all four. Without telling you the difference amongst all these four. So whenever some person comes to me, suppose Shivani approaches me today, right? That I have issues with guy A, B, and C. So what should I do to improve my husband? My answer is no. You should not do. You should not think of even improving him or changing him. All you have to do is change yourself. All you have to do is improve yourself, right? And what I can tell you is to make some changes in you, right? And say, why don't you talk to my husband? No, I will talk to your husband if your husband calls me, if he has issues. But right now, if you have called me and I'm counseling you or mentoring you or coaching you or consulting you, whatever the four, right? Then I will not take into account what others have to change. I will focus on what you have to change. I think अगर इतना भी हमें इतना मेरे को समझ में जिस दिन आ जाएगा, अभी भी पूरी तरीके से नहीं आया है, right? I don't claim that, okay, my relation with everyone is 100% okay. And I don't have any fights and I don't go in for argument and so on and so forth. Things will start changing. Am I right? You agree this point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Explore your close relationships in your family, with the friends, the workplace, in the society, and see ये सारे arguments इसीलिए तो नहीं हो रहे हैं that we want others to improve and other want us to improve. Right?
Yeah.
So why is this happening? Because there is thing called right understanding. This right understanding is also necessary for human beings. Right understanding. The very fact that relationship is more important as compared to the physical facility, this itself is a right understanding. Are you agreeing with me? Right? So we have three things now. First of all, there is a right understanding. And this right understanding, जिसे हम समझ कहते हैं, is in the self, in me. Right? Another thing is relationship, which is with human beings. And yet another thing is physical facility, which is with rest of the nature. So the question again, Shivani, are all three required? Is something redundant? Or is anything more which is required? Can you do away without any one of these, physical facility or relationships, or the very fact, the kind of understanding which you have developed so far in last one hour or so with us?
So my answer would be no, all three are required.
All three are required.
Yeah. Some might say physical facility not so much required, but I think all three are required.
All three are required. All three are required. So would you like to give any priority to these three?
Right understanding, relationship, physical facility.
So the priority, you say the first priority is right understanding. The second priority is relationship with other human beings. And the third priority is physical facility. Right? And what we have been doing so far, putting in all our effort, if not all, then most of our effort in the acquiring and accumulation of physical facility. Right? Somewhat on relationship. And practically nil or very little on the right understanding. Yeah. Right. So the priorities go like this, as you have rightly pointed out. I'm proud of you, Shivani. That's why I always feel very comfortable when you are my host. It clicks. First one is right understanding. Second one is relationship. And the third one is physical facility. Yeah. For animals, physical facility is one. Adequate. Yeah. Finish. Right? They don't have any Mosa or Pupar or Jiju.
No emotions, no feelings.
No emotions. Not many. Right? Other than perhaps in case of dogs who have been living with human beings in such a close proximity that they do get a little bit emotional with us, I suppose, if you are a dog lover. Right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, the thing is that we have the right understanding, and with this right understanding, we know that there is a good amount of effort to be made on relationships than on the physical facility. And whatsoever physical facility we develop, it is for mutual prosperity. And whatsoever relationships we have gone in for, putting an effort in for, is for the mutual happiness. Right? So we are very nearing to the end of our slotted time. But I will just take liberty for a few more minutes over here.
Yeah.
So if we are living with all the three, that is the right understanding, a relationship, and physical facility, in that priority order, right, then we are living in with a continuous happiness. And that is the point where you can say that human beings can be this happiness can be fulfilled by having a feeling of prosperity also, because the physical facility which we feel is enough for us and enough so that we can share it with others. You can share it with others. जो लंगर लगाने का concept है ना, आपने देखा होगा,
Yeah.
सारे लगाते रहते हैं गुरुद्वारा में भी, सब जगह पे कहीं पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो, instead of caring for themselves, they just dash off to all those places like Syria and जहाँ पे भी तूफान आ जाए, कुछ हो जाए, right? So this is this feeling of abundance, that we have enough, Lord has given us enough, let's share it with others.
Others,
Right.
yeah.
Otherwise we are in state of deprivation. We always think of exploiting and depriving others. उसकी जेब से पैसा मेरी जेब में कैसे आ जाए, right? Even in case of relationship, we are unhappy, we make ourselves dukhi and others also dukhi, because we don't have this kind of right understanding with us, right?
Yeah.
So living in harmony, when we say living in harmony, it means that I'm having harmony at all 4 levels. I am in harmony with myself, individual, right? Because many people are having trouble with their own self. वो खुद से छुटकारा पाना चाहते हैं, and they go in for extreme steps like, you know, committing suicide and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Then living in harmony with the family, with relations, living in harmony with the society as such, puri samaj mein, and living in harmony with the whole nature or with the whole existence as such. And that is what we are going to explore in the remaining part of the program, part 2, part 3, whatsoever time Rashmi will give me next time. So let's start concluding to whatsoever we have learned so far, is that happiness is to be in state of harmony.
Yeah.
And opposite to that, unhappiness is to be forced to be in the state of contradiction. And we are not in harmony, we are in contradiction, we somehow cut rahi hai. This is what many times you see, kaise chal raha hai ji? Oh ji, cut rahi hai. है ना? मतलब क्या है? यही है ना, you are in state of contradiction, somehow चला रहे हैं गाड़ी, चल रही है, right? Prosperity is the feeling that you have more than required. जिस दिन मेरे को ये पता चल गया, oh my God, I have 51 kurtas and I don't need more, right? तो मेरे को ये feeling of abundance आनी शुरू होगी. जब मैंने गिने ही नहीं थे कौन से कहाँ पड़े हैं, कैसे पड़े हैं, I want more, I want more. That feeling of getting more was, you know, feeling of being deprived of, कि मेरे को पता नहीं कितने कुछ है ही नहीं है गरीब के पास, right? Now, this is what I will just read it once again. That happiness is to be in state of harmony, unhappiness is to be forced in the state of contradiction, right? And prosperity is, I'm repeating, the feeling of having more than required physical facilities. And now you see a prosperous person thinks of the right utilization of whatsoever he or she has and nurturing the other. चलो शेयर करते हैं, बांटते हैं, care for others. And a deprived person, who's deprived means who's mentally deprived of all attitude, right? He will think of accumulating more and more and exploiting the others, right? So I may have only 10 rupees in my pocket and I feel like ये भी क्या करने हैं, चलो 5 किसी और को दे देते हैं. I may have 10 million with me and I feel no, I need 90 million more. Not enough, right? I think the transformation as such, which we have seen in this session, in this very session, is that, okay, we were earlier focusing on the physical facility alone, not thinking about the relationship and in the right understanding. And now we have developed this right understanding at this point. आगे बहुत कुछ है और explore करने को, how this right and what is exactly right understanding, other than whatever is given in this ellipse as such. Priorities are there, number 1, 2, and 3. This is the transformation which has to take place. Perhaps it has started with this session, where we see that money, for example, can get us physical facility. Money can be used in relationship, right? Money can be used to develop right understanding. but with the base of relationship and understanding. Mostly we use money for physical facilities alone. Good friends, of course, we want to offer them physical facilities. We require a good relationship with the good friends, and right understanding may or may not be there. Right understanding, बहुत बार मस्ती वाले दोस्त भी बहुत होते हैं. चलो शाम को 2-2 पैग लगाएं, that is sufficient. And for the peace of mind, perhaps you don't need much of the physical facilities, and being in right kind of relationship and having right understanding is sufficient for the peace of mind.
Right.
So this, Shivani and
What a lovely picture.
Rashmi and all others, if someone tells me to paint a picture of happiness, this is the best one I can paint or choose for. And what I notice is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids of the same age. So these perhaps cannot be their biological kids. This is my inference. Perhaps they are running an orphanage to help other kids. And you can see the bed is broken, and they are having a good puppy also, and a cat also under the pillow. And then there's a hen, and the roof is leaking, and somehow they are managing with that leaking roof. Even the bed has, they're putting in some wooden planks under the bed, and yet you see smile on everyone's face.
Yeah. Even though they're sleeping, there's a beautiful smile on everyone's face.
They're sleeping and there's beautiful smile on the face. So are they feeling happy? Answer is yes. Do they feel prosperous? Answer is yes. That's why they have adopted so many kids and keeping all those pets and sleeping off so peacefully and happily, I will say. So this is the end of part 1. We have much to share, and depending upon, Rashmi knows that I am available on Friday nights only, late nights, because or Saturday nights at the most. Other times, daytimes can be issues sometimes. So it's all up to her whether she wants to go in for part 2, whensoever, if at all she wants to go in for part 2. It's in her hands. मेरे को जो आदेश होगा उसके हिसाब से. And again, I would like Shivani to be my host.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you're already booked.
Yeah, 25th June.
Okay, that's Friday.
No, it's a Friday.
Okay. So good. So I will make a slot. I will just not make a slot.
But Mandy sir, before you go, I do want to pick up a question that was there from Sarika. She said, why understanding is above relationships? I think you did elaborate after that, but Sarika, let me know if you want him to say that again.
Yes, Sarika.
Actually, no, it's fine. I've understood now, and then I've realized why it was first understanding and then relationship. All right, thank you. Lovely session.
Good.
Because the very fact that relationship is more important than physical facility, that itself is a right kind of understanding, right? So to develop that kind of understanding, and all those through these kind of sessions which I have been conducting or I have been attending, or even while conducting, I also keep on honing my right kind of understanding to the extent possible.
Beautiful session, Mandy sir. I think lots to learn from here. Every time we have a discussion like this, there's always something that you take with you, and then that keeps you thinking. So wonderful session yet again. I'm sure everyone feels the same way, and I can't wait for the second session and to have a lot more discussion on this. Lots will be thought of today, and next time we will pour it all in the session.
Thank you so much, Shivani, for being my host, and thank you, Rashmi, for providing me the platform and the slot for the next session on 25th of June as well. I will too be waiting for that so that I can share more of my thoughts on this issue.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to have the audience that participates so well. So thank you all for joining in. Really appreciate your time, and we hope to have you back again on 25th and tomorrow, which I'm sure Rashmi comes up with another session tomorrow. She will tell you more about it. From my side, thank you so much, and everyone have a very good night. And thank you for joining. Rashmi, over to you.
Yeah, I am very thankful, and Inspiring Indian Women is indeed privileged to have a speaker as high profile and knowledgeable, experienced as Mandy sir. And I personally always love to hear him. And I have got so many questions, which because every time when when we have interaction, I'm always going through something, somebody is always trying to pull you down. So I will speak to you on a personal level, Mandy sir. And also 25th June, we will eagerly wait. It's the same time on 25th June for all those who want to join him again. And then tomorrow, what we have tomorrow? We have Namita Tiwari in conversation with Hema Karyappa, who's going to, and Namita is going to talk about marketing in pandemic, post-pandemic world. So it's all about marketing in this world where everything is virtual, e-commerce and all that. So with me and Sarika, and I can see Saroj there. I can see all my lovely ladies there. Hi. And we sign out. Shivani, thank you once again.
Thank
You're one
you.
of the cutest hosts.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Mandy sir,
Take
good night
care.
to you. Good night.
Thank you so
night.
much. Good night. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everyone. Bye.
See you all. Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Sarojji. Thank you so much. You came so late. You're mute. Thank you to all those.
I forgot. I was doing something else and I forgot. And
I
then
know
I
you're a
just
crazy
realized.
fan of Mandy, sir, right? Saroj.
Yes, yes.
We all want to
Yeah,
hear
never
you.
mind.
Yeah.
I'll see him again later on.
Yeah, we will upload the YouTube video as well. And
Yeah.
you can see it on Facebook.
Definitely. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Thank you so
You still-
much.
Are you still
Thank you.
feeding the poor over there?
Yeah,
the
we
needy?
are going to go tomorrow again with raw ration. So because right now the lockdown has eased a bit. It's still 2 o'clock. So what we did with tomorrow, we booked another 10 raw ration, 10 bags of raw ration with rice and dal and all those. Actually, they sent us a list, disabled family, special needs. So we are doing that tomorrow at Walkeshwar and Vadala. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll write to you. I'll write to
Yeah.
you later in a minute.
Okay. Thanks
Okay.
a lot.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank
bye.
you, everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.